Hi, my name is Faye, and I'm here to talk about blue therapy and also to give my thought about it as a therapist as well. So this is my first video, and I'll be talking about Deborah and Jamil, and as well as Paul and Choma. So I think to introduce blue therapy, right? Blue therapy is a way for couples to get mediation. It's a way for them to have um, help or maybe solution in case if they have difficulty or they're having, you know, couple stuff or couple if they're having difficulty in their relationship in total. So in that way, if that is experience, right? So they go to a therapist to see if that can actually help, or if they can get help, just to have a better relationship and all that. And I know one thing therapists do, right, is that from the beginning they don't actually throw or maybe suggest anything. So the therapist usually ask the couples some couple of questions, and the truth about that is they want the couples to talk by themselves. Like they want them to point out what they are not happy about. Like maybe they, like in the case of Chioma, right, we can see where she's already talking, and just from saying one or two sentences, then other questions can be asked and all that. And if something is not clear, or they can start by like, oh, what do you think you want your partner to talk about, or what do you think is not making you happy in the relationship and all that. So the therapy actually can start like that. And so I watched the blue therapy. It's a show actually in that is held in it took place in London and all that in the UK. And so, and one more thing again is sometimes the result of therapy can be good, and sometimes to the other person it might not be a good one. Sometimes they end up to be together, and some other time they might not end up to be together anymore because now they've known their differences and they've been able to. But the thing is, therapy actually lift up burdens from people's mind. If you have doubt in relationship, it's a good thing to do. So so I will just go jump right into it, like, which should be my reaction to Choma and Paul, as well as Jamil and Deborah. So as a therapist, I just want to jump into it and say my own thought about them, and based on what they said also during the blue therapy section they had with Dennis. So if you look at it, right, we see like when Choma and Paul entered, or when they started, coming into the therapy section. I think Paul was, it was, I saw him smiling. So let me say, he was happy from the beginning. But he didn't really know much about what he was getting into. But Choma, on the other hand, right, had already read about that therapist. She had read reviews about Dennis and the success rate and all that. And that's, I would say that when Paul was asking like, oh, what is the success rate and all that, though it might be difficult to give a value of the success rate of like maybe result from people that went in therapy, but she could give an answer to that. That means she did her findings about this therapist, and before telling Paul to join her to go for therapy. So Paul didn't really know what he was getting into. So like, because after watching that episode one, I realized almost all the questions being asked, it was being so defensive and it was deflecting. And as a therapist, right, that can be seen as a coping mechanism. It's like he thinks maybe Choma and the therapist were just like against him, or he wasn't feeling every, like two of them were on his side and they were just shooting those shots, on him and all that. So he might just be trying to defend himself. And but one thing he was doing was like deflecting from those questions that was asked, and he would, like, they would ask him A and he would say B, or he would even say C. And sometimes I think I saw him to be like, maybe he's trying to, like, he was trying to make them see the way he saw the questions that was asked or something. Like it will put it in it will put those questions in a more realistic way to him or something. It was trying to explain them in such a very funny way anyways, because even after doing that, it still was not making sense. It still wasn't making sense to people as I was trying to explain those questions, or maybe his response to those. So, and I would say, I, I don't want to really say, maybe Paul is a little bit confused, you know, he's a little bit confused about the whole thing. And just for the fact that answering those questions, you know, whenever they ask him question, he doesn't really go straight into, like, you know, he doesn't really answer those questions, you know. Like, it's like me saying, oh, what is your name? And instead of to say your name, you say, oh, my dad's name is, you know. So it's not directly answering those questions, you know, that was it that they asked him. Then another thing is, I think going into the therapy, I think Paul doesn't know what to expect. And this is because he's been with Chioma for like 3 years, and Chioma moved with him for like 6 months ago. Personally, I would say, from that, I would say it's a no-no, you know. Sometimes it's good for a lady to move in with a guy, you know, before they get married and all that. But in this case, that was where their problem started. Assuming she didn't move in, maybe they would have still been good together, you know. But like, since they moved in, that's where the problem started. Then, like I think I said it earlier, I think Paul was deliberately ignoring those questions that the Dennis was asking him, and likewise the one Chioma was asking him as well. Then I think he was acting as if he doesn't love Chioma. And for a girl like that, dating a guy for 3 years, acting like that, it's a no-no. It's just a no-no, because it wasn't acting any way that he loved Chioma. Because even some of the questions, like some scenarios about Chioma was going to the club to have fun with her friends and dancing for 1 second. You saw a video clip less than 1 second and all that. It would have been better if maybe they showed us video for us to see what was being revealed. But like she said it was just like a second kind of video, and our friend that did the video wasn't actually focusing on her. She was just videoing the environment and all that. So I think if it's very matured, that shouldn't be a point of or something that could cause argument between the two of them. Then the aspect of them talking about fan base, like talking about Burna Boy, Whiskey, and David. I'm like, please, please, who want to argue? Which like you want to argue about like musicians and all that? Like, please, whatever. She can love both. She can both listen to Whiskey. She can listen to Burna Boy. Like, I think if in a relationship doesn't mean I have to. If she's in a relationship doesn't mean she has to, you know, be a fan of whosoever she's dating. That's what I feel, like, just from my own point of view. So it was kind of absurd and so childish, like, oh, because I'm dating a guy now, and if he loves, you know, maybe I don't know, any artist at all, like let's say Burna Boy, so the lady too has to love. Nah, I don't think relationship is all like that. Even relationship is all about diversity. You know, you love your thing, I have my thing, you have your time, you have your own time. So, but there's still a common goal, you know, that they come together. There should still be a point where they have common stuff. Maybe, you know, there should always even be a balance, you know, in a relationship and all that. So, yeah, exactly. So, like, I think in that relationship, there was no balance between the two of them. That this is just my thought anyways. There was no balance, and Chioma had her own stuff, and maybe she might be trying, you know, to like compel herself to like the same stuff Paul likes and all that. But I think there was just no balance. Maybe whatever Chioma is bringing, Paul just wasn't feeling it. Like, imagine like the aspect of you know, the aspect of kind of music they listen to. So all those stuff. And another thing is I think I felt a little bit of pride and ego in Paul. Yeah, because whenever a question is asked, okay, imagine a question like, oh, what do? You can just say, like, you know, just say it. It's simple. Oh, I'm a mechanic, or, you know, I'm a practitioner or anything, whatever it is. Just it would just dabble and dabble and just go round and round and round and round before you're like, oh, I'm a provider. Like, you can as well say that. I'm a provider. What do you do? You have to specify about what you do and all that. So the whole episode one was just kind of funny to me. I'm hoping to watch more episode of this and also give my own reviews about them as a therapist. And I think that will be all for now for about Paul and Chioma. And coming to Jamil and Deborah, oh my god, those two people, they were so, I don't know, they were just here and there, like they were just talking about coming late. I kind of get Deborah, right? Like if a guy is coming late, at least he should let you know ahead of time. And the aspect of she introducing a parent, like the Jamil to a parent. I think if a lady is not sure of a guy, you are so not sure, I don't think you should introduce them to your parent, because just to avoid unnecessary headache like this. And sometimes too, no one is perfect. You might think the person is all in, meanwhile in their mind their mind is still not settled about settling down with the lady, which happened in the case of Jamil and Deborah. So I think then what else again about them, about Deborah and Jamil? Yeah, I think the aspect of lateness, and I think Deborah too should just calm down a little bit because of the kind of work that Jamil does. And I think if she can just calm down a little bit, and also she needs to be accountable for like her spending and all that, because if she's not bringing anything, I'm not saying she should bring anything to the table right now to a guy that is not even, she's not sure of, but if she needs to be accountable, not only because of the relationship only, even to herself. She just needs to be accountable. And like, life is not all about you buy Gucci, you buy Prada, you buy this, you buy that. If they want to raise kids together, at least she needs to put some of her earnings into savings and all that. One thing again is then I think Jamil like should have courtesy, if you're going to run late to your girlfriend's or maybe dating or an outing that you guys both plan together. Courtesy demand, you tell her ahead of time, like, oh babe, I'll be running 30 minutes late and all that. Not like 5 minutes to the time, you're like, oh, I'll be running late, and you think just to mark the, just like, oh, I did it, yeah. So I think he knows what he's doing, and I hope we get to learn more things about these couples, like especially Jamil and Deborah. I really wish to know more about them, and I think I would like to know their age as well. So it seems like they will be way younger than Chioma and Paul, just from the things they talk about. And I must commend Chioma. I love her so much because I'm not trying to be biased here, but I like Chioma because she knows what she wants in a relationship, and the way she constructs herself, and she actually, those things she's getting from Paul, those things she doesn't like, she was able to mention them, through examples. And this, like, they are really bothering her. Imagine a lady being in a relationship, right, for 3 years 3 good years, and the guy still ended up behaving like this. I was just like, this is a time waster. The guy Paul is just like wasting our time and all that. But really, I really hope by the end of this whole blue therapy section with them, maybe, I don't pray they end up breaking up. I pray they can find out their differences and also find a balance in their relationship and make it work. But it will take a lot for a man like Paul to actually please Chioma. And I don't think any relationship, right, is really worth it for the lady to be suffering, and suffering both emotionally, because I realized Chioma had like emotion instability, like not like emotional instability, right, but I'm saying maybe love deficit, like she said, from this relationship and all that. And Paul is not even aware of that. That alone breaks the lady's heart. Like, you can just stay in the house, only you right there, no one. What if she's sick and the guy will be like, oh, maybe I'm out on the street making money? What kind of money? sometimes a lady doesn't need only love, you know. Sometimes you need the attention, you need the money, you need everything all together. I said there has to be a balance. That's what I talked about like earlier. Like there has to be a balance between all these things, and these are the things that actually keep a relationship going. Like because let's say in future, right, and they have to look back because sometimes love fails, you know, and you have to look back like, okay, what did I even see in this guy? She can like, oh, he was there emotionally, you know, when she was down, the guy was able to do this. But in Paul's case, there was nothing like that. He's never present. He's there on the club with girls trying to saying, oh, he's having a meeting with clients, and Choma is there on in a club with her friends, and Paula has to say, oh, she was not she was embarrassing herself, like maybe via social media or something like that. So I can't even remember the way he put it. So I'm hoping to watch more of this blue therapy section, and I'm hoping to learn from it. And I'll keep giving my reviews on it on each of the episodes. Like, just if you have any question, so kindly let me know. And if you think two of them are going to be together at the end of this whole therapy section, you can leave a comment below, and whatever you feel about them actually. And but my question solely is, do you think they will still be together by the end of the session? Because I feel Choma is revealing a lot. I like for the fact that she knows what she wants, and she just putting them bam 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 like that. She just stating them out like, oh, these are the things I like, these are the things I don't like, these are the things he's doing, these are the things she doesn't like. I like that so much because as a lady, if you keep quiet in a relationship, right, I'm not saying you should always nag or something, but this is someone you still have eternity to spend with, right? So I think you just have to tell them what you want, and yeah, it's not a crime. You can have patience, right, and at the same time still let them know this is what you like in the relationship, this is what you don't like in the relationship. Because I think piling up stuff that you don't like might just make you explode one day, you know, and at that time things might not be reversible. So I think what she's doing, I like her because I'm not being biased now. I'm just saying that I like her for the fact that she knows what she wants, and she was able to point them out and explain to someone that was not in the relationship with them, explain to them in such a way that people will understand, like, oh, this is what she needs from Paul, and this is what she's not getting from him. So if whatever you feel about maybe the outcome of the relationship is going to be, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you, as I bring more and more interesting videos for you. Thank you.